You can turn just about anything into a chalkboard or a magnetic board with just the right cans of paint. Actually, you can put the magnetic paint on first, let it dry, and then you can put the chalkboard paint over the top. Here's a few examples. This one is actually a door panel, a reclaimed door panel that's been painted in really whimsical colors, and we've used magnets on this one. Look at this one. I like the stripes, and this all is well has been placed at the bottom. These are magnets, but look, you can actually use your chalk to create a nice little message for someone. This one's been painted very whimsical, and it has lots of detailing. So you can use this with just about anything. So grab yourself a can of magnetic paint and chalk paint and paint a beautiful message board for your family to use. Well, welcome back to Lifestyle. You know, one of the things we talk about is what interior designers use, because they're always setting the trend. And one thing that I will have to say that interior designers loathe, is the thermostat in the middle of the wall or the return vent in the middle of the wall. Now, guys, I know that create the AC unit, we know practically that you've got to have that return vent right in the middle so that it can have the right airflow. But do you have to be so proud of it? I mean, it's right in the center where you could put a great piece of art. But that's okay, because Cindy Moore of Fancy Vents, well, she's making over Nashville one vent at a time. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Well, you know, I love that you've come up with a great solution. How did you come up with this idea to do these return vents? How did your business get started?
Well, we're a family-owned business. My husband and I started this business in 2007 in our basement.
Really?
Just as a fun thing to do. We didn't realize it was going to be a business at that time. We made some for our own home.
Because you didn't like the vents?
Yeah, we hated the white vent.
Yeah.
And with today's floor plans, it's very hard for those HVAC companies and builders to hide those. The floor plans are very open, and when you have an open floor plan, you're going to see it. So it's hard to hide it. So we did it in our basement for a couple of months and realized it would really become a good business, and so that's how it got started. But it's not a new idea. If you visit any of the older homes and nicer homes like the Biltmore, someplace like that.
And European homes.
Yes, yeah. So it's not a new idea. We just improved on an old idea.
But what I like about it is it's like those old ideas that you would only see in a mansion or historic home or very, very wealthy. But what I like is the affordability now that everyone can have one of these in their home.
Yeah, it's a very elegant and affordable remodel. We call it the 15-minute remodel because that's about how long it takes to take the old white one out and put a new fancy vent in. And we've done homes from like 600 square foot cottages down in Franklin to, you know, 15,000 square foot homes in the Governor's Club. So, you know, our fancy vent can go in any type of home and office.
Well, one of the most important things that any AC person will tell you that's so important is you need to be changing out your vent, your filter very frequently. But you know what? Some of those are not easy to get into. You've got to take the screws off to do that, and yours is really easy. We're going to be demonstrating that in just a few moments. But first, let's show this product before and after. Tell me about what we're seeing here, Cindy.
Well, this is a 20 by 20. This is called our Denise design.
Well.
And in this person's home, they had 4 of these different returns in a long hallway, and they were all in niches like this. So this is a wonderful, wonderful improvement to that hallway.
Well, and this is a focal point. Like, you are supposed to look at this niche, and you're supposed to look at this urn, and then there was a return vent. How you made it look so good.
And we have a lot of different finishes, and people do pick the finish in all different ways. In this situation, they wanted to blend with the vases in the niches.
Exactly. And one of the things, and this is another before and after, but one of the things that you say, and this is what I would do, because we had a huge vent, and now we have one of your vents, but I would put a screen in front of it. But that is not a good idea, is it?
Right.
You're not supposed to block
Right,
because
right.
it would block the air.
Yeah,
vent.
because they are out in the open and they're so visible nowadays, people do try to put something to camouflage them, a piece of furniture or a couch or something like that.
Right.
And that's really not a good idea because you've got to have proper airflow for your system to work properly.
Exactly, exactly. Now tell me about this before and after.
This is our Rococo design. This is a 20 by 25. And you'll notice that I always talk about the filter size. We do everything by the filter size, so there is no measuring for the homeowner. That's the first question I get when I get a call. They'll say, well, how do I get started buying a fancy vent? The first thing you do is open your current vent cover and look to see what size is printed on the filter. So no measuring. We do everything by the filter size because we know if you tell me you use a 20 by 30 filter, we know that HVAC company cut that opening to a spec.
Right.
So we know how to build the cover.
Right. That makes it really simple. And then here's another before and after. I mean, what a difference. I mean, you've got this beautiful library molding, wainscot. I mean, that really makes it dressed up.
Yeah, and this was in the ladies' dining room, so it was a very big eyesore in her dining room. And in this case, she had a piece of furniture sitting next to it, and that's how she picked her finish to go with the piece of furniture. And you were talking about changing the filters before. Yeah, the HVAC companies will ask you to check your filter at least once a month, and if it's dusty, change it. And at least I always change it at least every 3 months. If it's not dusty, do change it every 3 months.
Right, right. And they say really for allergies, you really should change it more often. Okay, we've got one more before and after.
And this is our Glory design, and this is a 20 by 30. And you can see the difference it makes here. They, of course, here they picked our old antique bronze finish to kind of go with the grandfather clock as well as that frame there.
Well, one of the things you were gonna tell us a little bit more about the changing out the vents and the HVAC. I mean, they really recommend. You work really closely with them. Designers are probably like, oh, those people are putting those right in the way, but we do understand intellectually you've got to have them right in the middle of the room.
Yes, at least with the fancy vent though, and I'll show you in a minute, our knobs screw off very easily, the door hangs freely, so it's easy to get in and out of a fancy vent. Because the white ones, you know, they'll have the tabs and stuff, and it's very hard to get in and out of those.
Some of them even have screws that you've got to go in. And you know, I had gone to an allergist one time, and he had told me to change it absolutely every month because of the allergies, and it's you know, you're supposed to change it. So having one of these fancy vents will help you want to change it because it's easier.
Make it easier.
Yeah. Well, you're going to demonstrate for us. You've got some right here, and you're going to demonstrate exactly how it works.
Okay.
So show me how this actually works. I'm just going to watch you work.
I brought 2 designs. We do have over 100 designs on our website. I brought the Craftsman and the Traditional. And we have designs though for pretty much any decor, from very contemporary to very, very traditional. Like I said earlier, they're very easy to open. The knob screws off. They're made of all steel and cast iron. This is a angle iron frame, steel tubing door with a cast iron decorative piece in the middle.
And it looks like it has some sort of grill over the back.
We weld a heavy wire mesh on the back of each door, which helps hide the filter as well as protect the filter. I talked about the easy installation before. Of course, you take the white one out and it screws out, and you're left with a rough opening. When you get your fancy vents, our doors will lift up off the hinges, so you take the door off because this is the heavy part of the fancy vent. So you take the door off and set it aside, and then our frame slides into the same rough opening. It takes 2 screws on each side, and then you put the filter back.
And how easy is that?
I think I said we do everything by the filter size. So that's all you need to do is look to see what size filter you're using, 20 by 25 here. Nowadays, you'll have a lot of customers with systems where they're changing their filter at the furnace. So they'll still have the ugly white vent cover in the main areas for airflow, but they won't have a filter in there to look at. So in that case, if you're not using a filter, you just open your current white cover, take the door off, and measure from 2x4 to 2x4 across and up. Usually they're pretty standard openings, even though there's no filter in there. And then you just give us those rough dimensions, and then we build to those dimensions.
And I really like that Craftsman in the hammered pewter, because you can use that in a more contemporary design, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But let's talk about the piece you've got down here.
Now this is a 20 by 30. It's our traditional design. It is the most popular design that we sell, because it can pretty much go in pretty much any home, contemporary, traditional, transitional design. So it's a very, very popular design. We do powder coat all of our covers, and we have 6 different powder coated finishes, and it's a real hard baked on finish that's resistant to scratches and marks and everything.
So you're not going to have to repaint it and that kind of thing. So we're going to show some more pictures as well, and we're seeing now the detailing in all of this. I like the fact that you're not going to have to turn around and repaint these every other year.
Yeah, they've been asked many times about our guarantee on these, and it's 100% satisfaction guarantee, because nothing's ever going to happen to that. I mean, it's going to outlast the house probably, because it's steel and cast iron. Oh,
and I can imagine that would be a great resale value to the new homeowners as well. Tell me what we're seeing here. This is another style vent.
Yeah, this is called the Marissa, and each year, for the past couple of years, we've done the Southern Living Showcase Home with Castle Homes. We did the one in Brentwood in 2012, and then of course we were at Fontanelle last year in 2013. So this is from Fontanelle.
Now this is really pretty. I mean, it just blends right in. You can see it just looks like a beautiful piece of artwork. I think you may have shown this on Talk of the Town.
Yes, we did.
With Meryl.
Yeah, we work with a lot of builders around Williamson County and around Middle Tennessee, and this was the Turnberry model home. Okay.
A lot of interior designers, builders will use you, but you sell directly to the public. So even if you just want to order one of these vents, a return vent, you can certainly call in and do that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Probably 95% of our business comes from the homeowner. And it's funny, you know, the homeowner will buy a fancy vent for the one that is the biggest eyesore that she sees all the time.
Right.
But once she gets it and enjoys how easy it is to open and close and change the filter, and how easy it is to keep clean, because the door hangs freely like it does, you can get to both sides very easily to keep it clean. I get a lot of repeat business. Then she orders for the one upstairs or wherever, so we get a lot of repeat orders.
Right. Oh, this is really pretty.
Yes, this is called our Cynthia design, and this is a big one. This was a 24 by 30. We do custom build also, so if you visit the website and you don't see the size you need, you just call and talk to me directly, because we can custom build any size.
Any size. Now this one's fairly large. This is how big ours is. Ours is really big.
Yeah, that's a 20 by 40. And here we've had to stack 2 different decorative pieces on top of each other because it's so big.
Oh, and you can use them in the ceiling as well.
Yes, this is at Fontanelle also. That's the ceiling design. It's called the Georgian ceiling design. And okay, well, we do have special designs for the ceiling ones.
And this is beautiful.
Yes, this is this design is called the Gothic. We do have over 100 designs, and when we first started the company, we came up with most of the designs ourselves, design names ourselves. Well, then it got to where we were having so many designs, it was hard to come up with that many names, so we got to where we were naming them after the first person that ordered the design.
Ooh, I wish I had gotten in on that, but you already have a Denise.
Yeah. But,
okay, and we've got a few more pictures here. This is really pretty.
And this is another large one. That's like a 24 by 36, and that's the Rococo. We do custom design also. You'll see on the website that we have a beach scene that we've sold a lot in Florida But we also sold it around here for pool houses and Florida rooms.
Is that on your catalog page?
Yes, it's on the catalog page. No, it's a small one, so it may not be on the catalog page you're going to show.
Okay. Hey, this was the show house, Jennifer Marcanic over at the O'More Show House. That's pretty exciting.
Yes, that's the O'More College of Design show house that we're in, and that's a Gothic design. Okay. But like right now, I'm working with a guy in Kingsville, Texas, and he owns a ranch, and he wants a Western design on his vent covers.
So are you going to do some horses with a little,
bucking bronco? And
I love that.
This is the model home at Elmbrook, and that's a Cynthia design in that too. And you can see that's a smaller one, and so we've used one decorative piece there. On the larger Cynthias, we add pieces to them.
Well, let's see the catalogs, because now this is just one page. You've got several pages in your catalog. We really encourage you to go to the website. So, we've got a few more here. If you don't see really the style that you need, like you said, you can custom design these as well. Talk about that just a little bit. Like you said, the Western, that you create.
Yeah, well, an important thing to know is too that the designs are size specific. So you can't see something like in the 24 by 36s and me do it in a 12 by 24. So the designs are size specific, but for every size we have at least 5, and some we have 15 and 16 designs in that size. So we've been at it now long enough that you almost always find something you like.
Yeah, and also we didn't talk about this. You do the ceiling tiles, but you also do just the returns as well. The smaller, you've got the small.
Yeah, we'll do the small ones on the wall. We do not do floor.
Okay, because I saw the smaller pieces that you have.
Yeah, and that's
on the
just
wall.
that's just for the registers on the wall, but we can do those.
Okay, well that is I'm so glad that you came up with this product, because I've used it. In fact, Becky was on the show and she was telling me that she had used your product
we
and
had to Arkansas for her. Yes, we do.
You shipped them from Arkansas. So thank you so much for sharing that, and we'll be giving your tips out too. Very important about that return vent at the end of the show. So you stick around, because we'll be making our toast. Well, as you know, I love Foamworks, and one of the things that they didn't promise me this, but I enjoyed the fact that their open cell spray foam that they put up in my attic. In attics sometimes little bitty critters will get in your attic. Well, hey, not even a wasp can get through this. You can contact them over at thesprayfoamworks.com or 590-7856. And coming up, hey, this is the part of the show where we celebrate and we give out the party favors, so we don't want you to miss it. So come back with us.